Assalamu alaikum dear students, this is lecture 7. The topic of today's lecture is requirement gathering. This is the agenda for today's lecture. The highlighted topics are already covered in lecture 6. Today we will study reviewing requirements, section of requirement documents, managing changing requirements, difficulty in risk and domain and requirement analysis. Reviewing requirements. The review process normally consists with the formal requirements review meeting at which all the stakeholders are present. The stakeholders should receive the document well in advance in order for them to have read it. Ideally, most of the problem should have been eliminated by the review of earlier draft or prototype, so that the formal review should not raise major controversies. However, if extensive changes are identified, then further review may be needed once the changes are made. Each individual requirement should be carefully reviewed in order to be acceptable. A requirement should have benefits that outweigh the cost of development. Cost benefit analysis is an important skill in software engineering. You sum in financial terms the benefits of the requirements, such as improvement in productivity or sale, and compare this to the sum of cost, development cost, hardware cost, training cost, and ongoing maintenance cost. For example, cost benefit analysis can be performed with considerable attention to detail. However, a very rough estimate can often quickly show that a requirement provides only a minimal benefit but costs substantially more than this to develop. Such a requirement should be immediately cut off. Second is, be important for the solution of the current problems. Many ideas might be useful to implement and might have benefits that outweigh their cost. Unfortunately, you have to immediately weed out the less important ideas in order to reduce the total time required to develop the system and to reduce the risk by keeping the software from becoming overly complex. The less important ideas can be deferred for future considerations. One of the most important rules in software engineering is 80-20 rule, which say that 80% of the user problem can be solved with the 20% of the work. You should initially consider producing only that first 20% of the system. The 80-20% rule is called Pareto principle. Third one is, be expressed using a clear and consistent notation. Each requirement should be expressed using the language that the customer can understand and should be consistent with the other requirements. Requirements are normally expressed in a natural language such as English, sometimes supplemented by a formal mathematical language and often by some form of diagram. Whichever format is used, consistent styles should be applied throughout the requirement documents. We suggest that English sentences should be present tense, active-wise, and express that the system is to do in response to various input. For example, rather than to write, the pharmacist will enter a patient ID, the number, and the patient medication record will be displayed. Fourth one is, be unambiguous. It's typically to find that in English sentences can have more than one interpretation. Often this is because words have several closely related meaning. For example, the following requirement has two ambiguities. When the user selects an aircraft, the system assigns it to flight. The first ambiguity is to do with the word aircraft. Does it mean a specific plane or does it mean a class of aircraft, like Boeing 747? Secondly, what does the word flight mean? Is the aircraft being assigned just a particular day departure, or is it being assigned in a general to a flight number to be depart in every day at the same time? Fifth one is, be logically consistent. You should look consistency with any standard with other requirements in the documents, with the high level requirements and with the requirements for other subsystems. In a large system, it can be very hard to show that the requirement does not contradict some other requirement in some subtle way. In fact, considerable research effort is spent finding ways to automatically check requirements document for consistency. However, since such tools require the document to be written using a mathematical language and do not yet work very well for large systems, careful proofreading may be the main way to proceed. Sixth is lead to a system of sufficient quality. A requirement should contribute to a system that is sufficiently usable, safe, efficient, reliable, and maintainable. It takes a good deal of expertise to judge whether requirement meet these needs. For example, to assess the safety of a critical system, formal mathematical proof techniques may be employed. To assess usability, the requirements can be validated against the checklist of a good user interface design principle. Be realistic with the available resources. A requirement is realistic if the development team has expertise and technology to implement it and the required platform within the budget and time available. If there is any doubt about whether the requirement is realistic, further analysis is required. For example, if there is uncertainty about whether an efficient algorithm can be found to perform some computations, then experimental prototype should be developed and tested before committing to make the computation a requirement. It is be verifiable. The requirement document should not only be based for the system design but also for the testing the system. There must be some way that the system can be tested so as to clearly conclude whether or not the requirement has been correctly implemented. As we mentioned earlier, this issue is mostly a concern for quality and platform requirement. For example, the search result must be obtained rapidly as not verifiable because it's too weak. Reader will wonder what rapidly means. A better requirement would be the first result of search must appear in less than 1 second on average and less than 3 to 3 seconds 95% of the time. Be uniquely identifiable. It's important to be able to refer to each individual requirement. This is necessary in requirement review meeting so that people can indicate which requirement they want to discuss. It's also necessary to design document to be able to say which requirement is being implemented by a given aspect of design, a quality called traceability. The first step in making requirements identifiable is avoiding long paragraphs. Ideally, each requirement should start a new paragraph. Not over-constrain the design of the system. As we have mentioned before, a requirement should avoid indicating how it will be implemented in order to give the designer as much freedom as possible to make decisions. The document should be sufficiently complete. We already discussed how a document could either give a high-level overview or be more detailed. However, at the chosen level of granularity, it should cover all of the functionality of the system or subsystem. It should also include all the appropriate quality platform and process requirements. The document should be well organized. In particular, it should be carefully designed so that its structure can be easily understood. It can be quickly scanned and in any given requirement can be easily found. This meaning giving it a clear title and dividing it into a section with more meaningful heading and subheading. Reasoning should be clear. Rationale should be provided for all the requirements that involve a large amount of analysis that are controversial or for which several alternatives are considered. Rationale provide traceability of the requirement to their justifications. The document should be agreed to by all the stakeholders. Requirements should only be considered when all the stakeholders agree that they are that they should be implemented. The process of negotiation might result in trade-off being made. A group of stakeholders may agree to certain requirement only if a change is made to some other requirement. For example, one group may want to run the software on older computers. They may only agree to constrain the software to run only on the new fast computer if web interface is added so that they can see the output of their computer. Section of the requirements document. First is problem. Provide the detailed description of the problem the system is being solved. Background information. Give information that will help reader to understand the requirement. It should contain reference to the domain analysis document, standards and the requirement of related subsystem. Environment and subsystem model. Provide the context in which system runs in a global overview of the system or subsystem. Diagrams are very useful here. Functional requirements. As discussed earlier, describe the services provided to the user and to the other system. Describe input, output, computations and timing. Diagrams can again be very useful here. Quality platform and process requirements. As discussed earlier, describe any constraint that must be imposed on the design of the system. Managing changing requirements. One of the most important things to realize about the requirements is that they change. Just because you have written a requirement document and you have obtained approval by all stakeholders does not mean that you can confidently design and implement the system as specified. By the time the system is delivered, the user and the customer need will likely have evolved so that the requirement is documented no longer completely solve the customer problem. The following are some of the changes to anticipate. Business process change. Business regularly adjusts the way they do things in order to better compete in the market or only because they gain expertise and decide that an alternative approach is better. Changes to the business processes can also be prompted by such things as changes in law as well as growth or rearrangement of the company. Technology change. A new release of operating system or some other system with which your system interacts may force you to reassess the requirements. Better understanding of the problem. Even though everybody might be confident about the requirements when they are first approved, various stakeholders may discover problems when looking at them again and again several months later. Difficulty and risk in the domain and requirement analysis. First is misunderstanding and lack of understanding of the domain are real problems. The software developer may make invalid assumptions and hence create poor requirements or design. Even customer and user who are expert in the domain may not possess the kind of knowledge that can be easily communicated to others, and they may define their problem too broadly or too narrowly. This problem can be resolved by make good use of domain analysis, prototyping and other requirements gathering techniques to help bring to light any misunderstanding and to help clarify the real problem. Second difficulty is requirement can change rapidly. Requirements always change and the rate of change is almost by definition unpredictable. For example, if the requirements are dictated by the open market, then the launch of competing product might necessitate changing the requirement to stay competitive. Change in the requirement can result in completed work being wasted and can result in the degrading of design if the original design did not adequately anticipate the change. The resolution to this problem can be use an incremental approach to the development, build flexibility into the design, Regularly review the requirements and prototype with the stakeholder, and above all, always respect the change. Attempting to do too much. This occurs when inadequate boundaries have been placed on the problem or the solution, or when those boundaries are not respected. This can be resolved by using incremental approach and carefully document the problem boundaries at the early stage, carefully estimate the time any proposed requirements will take, defer major changes to the subsequent release if possible. It may be hard to reconcile conflicting set of requirements. Natural language such as English are full of ambiguity. Even though everybody thought they had agreed, when the system is built, one group of stakeholders may complain that the system does not do what they want or what they expected. Resolution to this problem is break the requirement down into simple sentences and review them carefully, looking for potential ambiguity. Early prototype can also highlight any misunderstanding embedding in the requirements. It's hard to state requirement precisely. Natural language such as English are full of ambiguity, even though everybody thought that they had agreed. When the system is built, one group stakeholder may complain that the system does not do what they had expected. The resolution to this problem is break requirements into simple sentences and review them carefully, looking for potential ambiguity. Early prototype can highlight any misunderstanding embedded in the requirements. Thanks, it's enough for today.